kind of the first one, number one, tip one, would be tie into doing your research. But what I would advise people to do is you will tend to get asked, why are you interested in this particular role at this particular company? That's something that we ask quite a lot in our interviews, because especially when people are applying for multiple roles, or they're looking for across a different variety of industries, you want to make sure that the person's tailored their kind of answer to you. So as much as doing your research around, the general area, it would be really, I think, good to prepare yourself for that question to come up. Like, was there something you saw on their website or their social media? Did you see that, or they work with a particular customer or a particular area that you're interested in? Because even if it's just a small nugget of information, it gives that confirmation to the person listening that, oh, okay, so we're not just a generic company for them. They've actually taken the time to look into who we are and what we do. So I think that's a really important part of your research. Tip number two, I would say always have at least one question to ask at the end, because the interviewee will flip it back onto you, like, okay, this is your opportunity, ask any questions. And it's not a trick question. It's not like they're not trying to catch you out. It's genuinely, as an interviewer, I sometimes feel like, oh, did I cover everything? Have they got all the information that they need? Because I've got all the information that I need, but interviews are a two-way street. You want to make sure that you're both getting what you want. So just have at least one question, and that could be something as simple as asking what the next steps are, because then it shows that you are engaged in the process. You're not just logging on for the interview and then logging off and forgetting about it. If you're asking, oh, so what would be the next steps? It makes you think about, okay, well, they're actually actively interested in this role. And, the more questions, the better, but obviously at least one would be great. And the final tip, and I would say this is arguably the most important in some ways for a virtual interview, but take some time to relax before, because especially, in the day and age that we're in, we're all always in front of screens. We always feel like we've got to be doing something. And if that 10 minutes or half an hour interview is the most important thing of the day, you want to make sure that you're like ready for it and you're giving your best self. So go for a walk, have a cup of tea, switch off, talk to someone that you get on with really well, just to like set yourself up right, because that's the benefit you've got. Like I said before, you don't have that stressful commute into the interview and the sitting in the waiting room. Just make sure that you're the most comfortable you can be, because remember, you're only talking to a person on the end of the camera. So yeah, make yourself the most comfortable, relax, and just enjoy yourself.